space anymore on my shelf whatsoever. But I always buy my books thrifted, and if I see that they're like $1 to $2, I cannot resist, okay? But yeah, I actually have more book hauls planned for this year, and that's because I bought a lot of them, so I have to dissect all of them into different parts, because I don't really feel like making like a 1 hour long video with like 30 books, because I like to keep my videos around 20 minutes long. So let's just begin with the first book that actually wasn't thrifted. This is the only book that wasn't thrifted, but I was buying like a what's it called, like a textbook from a website, and I wanted to get free shipping, so I added this book there. It's called The Dark Tide by Yasinska or Jasinska, and this is one of the most beautiful covers I have ever seen in my life. Just look at it, and you have like the moon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 8 stages of moon, and then you have the waves, and it just looks so pretty. And I'm not going to lie, the reason why I bought it was because of the cover. Okay, I saw this cover on Instagram before and I was sold. But let me read you what it's about. Every year on St. Walpurgis Eve, Caldella's witch queen lures a boy back to her palace. An innocent life must be sacrificed on the full moon to keep the island city from sinking. Lena Kirk is convinced her brother is going to be taken this year. To save him, she enlists the help of the mysterious Thomas Lynn, the boy she secretly loves. But they draw the queen's attention, and Thomas is chosen as the sacrifice. Queen Ava casts away her heart when her sister died. Now, as queen, she's willing to sacrifice anyone if it means saving herself and her city. When Lena offers herself in exchange for Thomas' freedom, the two girls await the full moon together. Against their wills, they find themselves falling for each other. As water floods Caldella's streets and the dark tide demands its sacrifice, they must choose who to save, themselves, each other, or the island relying on them both. And it also says here, right here, the witch queen comes on wings of night. The witch queen has your heart's delight. Hold him, hold on tight. Hide him out of sight. I really like that poem. this is a thriller. As you can see, it has like a chess piece right here, gun right here, a compass, and a poison right here. Interesting. There we have Martini, a little pony toy, a book, and also a feather and ink. And you have also compass. So it actually doesn't have any synopsis on the back. It only says that it's as if Agatha Christie could travel time. It says it's very imaginative and original. I'll read you the synopsis from Goodreads. And by the way, I think they've changed the title now, because it used to be Seven Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, and now I've seen some books with the name of Seven and Half Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Like, I think they're trying to not really have that association with the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, because it sounds very similar, right? Okay, let me read you the synopsis. Aidan Bishop knows the rules. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until he can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest at Blackheath Manor, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. With a locked room mystery that Agatha Christie would envy, Stuart Turton unfurls a breakneck novel of intrigue and suspense. International best-selling author Stuart Turton delivers inventive twists in a thriller of such unexpected creativity, it will leave readers guessing until the very last page. Okay, so actually I've checked, and the synopsis in Czech, my language, is very different, because it says, tonight at prom somebody will be murdered. It will not look like a murder, therefore the murderer will never be caught. Let's fix the injustice and I'll show you a way out. So interesting. It sounds very interesting. This book has like 460 pages, and I bought it thrifted, but as you can see, it wasn't even read before because the bookmark is still tucked in. So it looks brand new, right? But I got it for like $3, I think. So I always like buying books that are thrifted for cheaper, but they look like they haven't been read. Yeah. Okay. So I can see that my camera is about to die soon. Let's see if I can finish this video. Probably not. Okay. Let's move on. The third book that I have here, actually I don't know the name of in English. Ink, Iron and Glass. So I think this is YA fantasy, and I've heard some mixed reviews about this book. To be honest, I was mainly interested in it because it was $1.50, okay? So that's why I got it. It kind of sounds like maybe fantasy mystery or a fantasy historical mystery. I'll just read you the synopsis in English. I will not guess. Okay. I haven't even said the author's name. It's Gwendolyn Clare. Okay. Can she write a world gone wrong? A certain pen, a certain book, and a certain person can craft entirely new worlds through a branch of science called scriptology. Elsa comes from one such world that was written into creation, where her mother, a noted scriptologist, constantly alters and expands their reality. But when her home is attacked and her mother kidnapped, Elsa is forced to cross into the real world and use her own scriptology technology gives to find her. In an alternative Victorian Italy, Elsa finds a secret society of young scientists with a gift for mechanics, alchemy, or scriptology, and meets Leo, a gorgeous mechanist with a smart mouth and tragic past. She recruits the help of these fellow geniuses just as an assassin arrives on their doorstep. In this thrilling debut, worlds collide as Elsa unveils a deep political conspiracy seeking to unlock the most dangerous weapon ever created. Only she can stop it. Oh, and I've just looked and it is a series. Oh no. It's a duology, I think. And the second book was published in 2019 in English. And I feel like the reason why this book was so cheap is because they didn't translate the second book into Czech, because perhaps it was not as popular, so then they don't want to like waste funds on it. Maybe, yeah, probably that's why it was so cheap. Yeah. The second book is called Mist, Metal and Ash. Yeah. Alright, well, either I will like it and I will continue it in English, or I won't. Alright, next book. So, this is The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and I've praised Han Kang on my channel multiple times. So far, I have read only Human Acts by her, and this is... oh, it looks like it hasn't even been read either, even though I bought it used. So, this is a book exploring humanity and evil and what makes an evil person evil. Is there certain humanity in evil people? Kind of like the same theme as in Human Acts, actually. And I see it's like a little dirty. And I'll read you the synopsis in English again. I think from Goodreads. So you can see there's like a meat and orchids, and this cover is different from all other covers because it's the Czech edition, and this publisher always changes the cover to whatever they're publishing. Okay. Before the nightmare, Young-hye and her husband lived an ordinary life, but when splintering, blood-soaked images start haunting her thoughts, Young-hye decides to purge her mind and renounce eating meat. In a country where societal mores are strictly obeyed, Young-hye's decision to embrace a more plant-like existence is a shocking act of subversion, and as her passive rebellion manifests in ever more extreme and frightening forms, scandal, abuse, and estrangement begin to send Young-hye spiraling deep into the spaces of her fantasy. In a complete metamorphosis of both mind and body, her now dangerous endeavor will take Young-hye impossibly, ecstatically, tragically, far from her once known self, altogether. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I can see like the synopsis is very different in this edition, and it kind of looks like it's from the POV of the husband. Oh, actually, in the back there isn't a synopsis, it's like the first page synopses are very dark. They're brilliant, absolutely breathtaking, and just great writing, very high quality writing, very interesting concepts and themes, but very dark, and you have to be in like a good headspace to read it. Okay, last book. This is The 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And again, I bought it used. It looks brand new though. And this book, well, not only is it very famous, but what got me interested in reading it was Emmy from Emmy Reads. I think that's her channel name. Yeah, Emmy. I actually follow her channel for years. I remember back when she was a really small channel. Now she has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and she was doing like a reading marathon of this book, but I couldn't join because I didn't have my own copy. And again, I got this copy for like $3, so it was a bargain for sure. And I'm going to read you the synopsis from Goodreads again. Of course, my camera had to betray me and die right before I have read you the synopsis. So the title is actually 100 Years of Solitude. I think I might have accidentally said the 100 Years of Solitude, but it's 100 Years of Solitude. The brilliant, best-selling landmark novel that tells the story of the Buendia family and chronicles the irreconcilable conflict between the desire for solitude and the need for love in rich, imaginative prose that has come to define an entire genre known as magical realism. Oh, I had no idea this book was actually magical realism. I should have known, probably. Yeah, it's such a famous book. So, this was first published in 1967. Alright, I see. Like the synopsis is very different, and it talks about that the motive of solitude is very tightly bonded with the motive of death. Interesting. And then, it says that, yeah, solitude is soledad in Spanish, and it's understood as some sort of pre-stage of solidarity, which is solidaridad in Spanish. Interesting. I've heard great things about this book. Some people are saying that it's a little harder to follow. So we'll see. And it has this font. Actually, in one of my book hauls, I talked about how much I love this font of this specific publisher. Yeah, I love it so much. And this publisher always publishes just such quality literature. I would love to work for them one day, to be like a book translator, because pretty much whatever they publish, it's like top notch. Of course, this book was translated from Spanish, and I don't think I could translate from Spanish. My Spanish is not that good. I was actually self-studying Spanish for years in college, or at university. Actually, I always say college and university. It was technically university, whatever. And I loved Spanish so much. I can still understand it. Well, quite. It's alright. But I cannot speak it because I don't really use it in my daily life. But it's such a beautiful language, of course. I was obsessed with Spanish music from Spain and Latin America. That was all I listened to when I was in university. So that's a bit of a story there. I cannot wait to read this. books that I want to read these days, and unfortunately, thanks to me having a full-time job and also working on 3 separate channels plus Patreon, I have almost zero free time. And I'm also like studying for like a certificate. It's a lot. It's a lot these days. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Okay, and stay tuned for more book hauls, because I still have got big piles of books that I haven't talked about yet. Alright, so wait, I have to put the book down. Alright, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, and good night, good night, good night. Thank you to chat and other lovely patrons and members for their support. Here are some other videos you might like, or you can check out my Czech ASMR channel or my channel